What is going on, everybody? It's the Fox. I'm waiting for AEW on TNT review for September the 29th, 2021. And we have a new TNT champion. And this is how smart AEW got to get people to watch Road to the Top. We're going to hear from the new TNT champion at the first commercial break of Road to the Top. So I have that on standby for when that starts, when that interview actually happens, when they go to commercial break. This should be hopefully happening very soon, but we'll talk about everything else first. Tonight was dedicated to the late, great John Huber, a.k.a. Brodie Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper. We were supposed to be in Rochester last year, the week the pandemic really took over. The week after Salt Lake, we were supposed to come to Rochester. That was going to be blood and guts with the Elite versus the Elite versus the Inner Circle. Did not happen. Everything got shut down, and we got stuck inside Jacksonville for over a year. And here we are now in Rochester. Brodie passed away, of course, in December after weeks and weeks of battling an illness that, of course, took his life. We had an awesome tribute show the last night of 2020. Starting that year off with a lot of happy tears, and we're here tonight paying tribute. We get a 16-man tag team match midway through this show with the Dark Order, every member of the Dark Order, and the HFO, the Hardy Family Office. Then we also had the TNT Championship with Sammy Gevar versus Miro. So many other matches, but we started off with Adam Cole, baby, versus Jungle Boy. This match could have been on a pay-per-view. You know it, I know it, everyone else knows it. This was pay-per-view quality. This was a damn good opener. And the crowd in Rochester loved both Adam Cole and Jungle Boy. You had chance for Adam Cole, you had chance for Jungle Boy. Midway through the match, they were singing Jungle Boy's theme. Just awesome shit all around for this show. So these guys went out there, they just tore the house down. Was it a 5-star classic on the same level of Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega? Of course not. But it was up there. If they were having, like I said, I think I said this last week, but if we had a pay-per-view coming up, coming soon, this would have been on pay-per-view. Plain and simple. These guys fought hard. These guys went out there and showed you that they are, well, Jungle Boy is a future made man, future star, future multi-time world champion. Whereas Adam Cole could be TNT champion next month or TNT champion at Full Gear. That's how much I think Adam Cole brings to AEW. Just a damn good match between both of these guys. If you want to watch one match this week, you need to watch Adam Cole and Jungle Boy, because these two beat the living shit out of each other. They went move for move. CM Punk was on commentary for the entire show, unlike the last time when he got attacked by Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs and the whole Taz team. Tonight he was on commentary, and he mentioned how both of these guys went at each other, move for move, hold for hold, and were just going out there and bringing the best out of both of each other, out of both. It was so hard, and it could have went either way, that Adam Cole had to cheat to win, because Jungle Boy pushed him and they got to where Adam Cole was face to face with Aubrey. Of course, Jungle Boy was trying to do a German to him, but of course Adam Cole with the back behind low blow, taking down Jungle Boy, able to hit the boom, as they call it, last shot boom, whatever they want to call it. And my God, what a match. Absolutely hell of an opener. Another, like, AEW, if they have one thing going for them on their Wednesday night shows, most of the openers on the show are some of the best, one of the best matches you're going to see all week long. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's just how good they are. We had Bryan Danielson in last week with Kenny Omega, this week with Adam Cole and Jungle Boy, and so many other matches that have been over and over and over. The best match on the card is usually the first match. Should it be the main event match? Absolutely not. I mean, if Miro and Sammy Guevara was not the main event of the show, Adam Cole and Jungle Boy could have easily closed out Wednesday Night Tonight to give you a look at Jungle Boy as a future main eventer with somebody who will be main eventing pay-per-views over the next few years. Plain and simple. So that was that. Then the Elite came out afterwards, and we went to commercial break. We came back, and we'll get to that thing in a second. But of course, before we get to that, we're going to get to the Sammy Guevara interview here in a second.
We did it! Woo! All right, the celebration goes on here tonight, earlier tonight, live here on TNT. We crowned a new TNT Champion. Congratulations, Sammy Gevar, and what is next for you, my friend?
Thank you, Tony, and what's next for me is doing my best to be one of the greatest TNT champions there ever was. But I gotta be honest, we're here in Rochester, and we know who the greatest TNT champ was. But I'm gonna do my best to go and fill the shoes that he left behind. That's already starting. The challenges are already starting, Tony.
Wow.
So I went and looked at my phone. I wanted to FaceTime Pam to go and celebrate with her, and I see Bobby Fish tweeting at me.
Bobby Fish?
Bobby Fish, you don't even work here. But you want to go and be the first in line at the Open Challenge? Let's do it next week.
Bobby Fish. I'm sorry, this is live reaction right here.
You somehow walk into the biggest upset in the history of this business, and 10 minutes later, you're hand-picking opponents from guys not even on the roster? Oh, let me guess. Bobby Fish is the only ride in this park you're tall enough to get on. Is that it? Dan. Don't be so mean to the champ. Clearly, he didn't actually think in his wildest dreams he'd become TNT champion. He's just standing here lost and confused and has no clue what to do. Well, Sammy, as someone who is a real champion, let me explain to you. Week in and week out, you face the best. And that is us, Ben.
Bobby's next week. But we can do this right now.
Sammy, let's have a little bit of decorum here if we can. Next week, live on TNT, we have the 2-year anniversary of Dynamite. And it looks like the Forbidden Door has been opened once again. Looks like we will have a TNT title match between Sammy Guevara and Bobby Fish. Coming up in just a few moments, we'll go back to Rose to the Top.
And I'm out of there. But Bobby Fish versus Sammy Guevara next week. Forbidden Doors open because Bobby Fish is working with MLW. He signed there. He just had his first match post WWE NXT there. Or I believe it's coming up soon. But Bobby Fish versus Sammy Guevara next week. Sign me the fuck up. That's going to be great. Sammy Guevara already knocking the TNT Championship out of the park. I can't wait to see that match next week. That is going to be your main event next week. I just had to have that reaction on here. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of Bobby Fish versus Sammy Guevara TNT Championship. That is next Wednesday. So I would say next Friday is going to see the Men of the Year versus Fuego, and Fuego and Sammy Guevara versus 5, because 5 was also there. 5 seems to be doing No More Mask, as we'll talk about that here in a minute. But now we're going to listen to the Elite and what they have to say after Adam Cole's victory.
Rochester, New York, welcome the Super Elite! To be elite, you have to have the Impact Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers. To be elite, you have to have Adam Cole. To be elite, you have to have the AEW World Champion, team that's ever stepped foot in a professional wrestling ring, the Young Bucks. And although they're no longer the AEW Tag Team Champions, they're still EVPs. Extremely violent people. That's you. That's you. And of course, Knockin' Cutler. Boys and girls, I told you so. I told the world that I was gonna beat Jungle Boy, and that's what I just did. On top of that, I did it by myself. You know why? Because Adam Cole, baby, is elite. And on top of that, Adam Cole, baby, is undefeated. The elite is... Shut up, Brandon! Hey, Rochester, are you ready to hear the best promo in all of professional wrestling? Ladies and gentlemen, Nakazawa. I have nothing to say.
I don't want to break my Lloyd's of London deal.
I've heard that once or twice before. See if I care. Now look, my telephone, guys, it's been ringing off the hook for an entire week. My social media, Twitter, the Gram, Facebook, heck, even MySpace, mentions full to the brim, telling me the same thing over and over and over and over again. Kenny, that was possibly the greatest match I've ever seen. Kenny, that was possibly AEW Dynamite's greatest match. Kenny, that was possibly AEW's greatest match. And to me, I say, that's cool, but see if I care. Bryan Danielson, you took me to my limit. I'll give that to you. You kicked me in my chest. You kicked me in my belly. You cashed in on your promise, and you kicked my head in. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. The problem is, Bryan, you couldn't get the job done when it counted. And the other problem is that you have 0 record, you're not getting a rematch, and you're never gonna see me face to face.
Let's see. Do you guys want to see a rematch between me and Kenny Omega? So they want a rematch. I want a rematch. But it appears that you don't have enough balls to give me a rematch. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Kenny No Balls Omega.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a t-shirt.
Well, I tell you, Danielson's doing one smart thing, and that is staying away from all those guys in the ring. Keep your distance.
So now, let's see if anybody in the Elite has any balls, because I challenge any one of you for a match on Rampage.
On Rampage, Wow.
So Kenny Omega challenges Brian Danielson now. He says, fine, I'm not coming alone. Out comes Jurassic Express, including Jungle Boy, who somehow got to the back in the commercial break. Christian Cage and Mr. Elite Hunter himself, Frank Kazarian. Speaking of things, EVP for the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega and Cody. Apparently that's in name only now, as Tony Khan has gotten all power for creative control and all that. There is no creative control in the EVPs apparently anymore. I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying it's false. I'm just saying what is reported. Also, if you watched the last episode of of Being the Elite, Christopher Daniels was on there, and Christopher Daniels teased his Fallen Angel gimmick. So we could be seeing the return of the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, to TV, which hasn't been the Fallen Angel character in a very long time. But that was a hell of a promo. But back then, Brian Danielson got Kenny, which I swear, anything you say in front of the AEW audience turns into a promo. It turns into a T-shirt. Kenny No Balls, like seriously, Kenny No Balls. So yeah, that's gonna happen. Now we will get a match with the So those guys I just mentioned, Jurassic Express and all them, coming out and everything. There's going to be an 8-man tag or a 10-man tag team match with them and the Elite next week. But we will have a match with Brian Danielson on Rampage this Friday. It's probably in the middle of being taped right now, and I will talk about that when we get to that and who it's going to be, because this is going to be a hell of a match as well. But for now, we move on. Next up, we had Tony Schiavone backstage with the AEW and AAA Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Bros, when Andrade and his cohorts, I don't remember the guy's name, they went to a package. Andrade insisted, says at the time they defended the AAA Tag Team titles, and Andrade says he has people who may come with them, and said that Phoenix says any place, anytime, they will give them a tag team championship match, and that was the end of that. So Andrade teasing somebody or some people coming to All Elite Wrestling for the tag team titles. Next up, Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson took on Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. This match was put together. Actually, this match was announced on Busted Open last week when Tony Khan, who apparently is on there on a weekly basis, comes out there and he promoted that Arn Anderson wanted Cody Rhodes to get back in his mind, like his mindset back into the AEW sphere and get away from the whole Hollywood thing, and wanted him to just go back to basics, have a basic match, and get everything going. It's after the match where things get very, very spicy and juicy with Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes. But the match itself, Dante Martin is I haven't seen much of Darius Martin, Dante's brother. Honestly, AEW could cut Darius, and I don't think anybody would be mad, because he's been gone with an injury, and Dante Martin's been on this epic singles career, the singles run right now. They've given him so much. They let him go out there and showcase that he could be a top star in this company in the near future. And I just can't see Dante going back to the tag team role. Dante Martin is an established made man in the singles division. And I honestly think him going to the tag team division again would be a demotion for him. I'm not saying that him and his brother wouldn't be a great tag team to have back on AEW, which AEW has a lot of tag teams. Honestly, with the winner tonight, I could see Dante Martin in the future being a TNT champion and just having that as a run. He's just been that fucking good, and they let him showcase himself here tonight, which was also really good. But in the end, Lee Johnson gets the win for his team. Rhodes sends Martin out and drops Seidel. Lee pulls Cody over to him and tags in. Big with the Seidel sending him off to the floor. Martin with the roll up, 2 count. Johnson hits a thrust kick, neck breaker over his knee. Martin out, pin, and that will do it. So Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson gets the win. Lee Johnson actually gets the win for his team, which is great. It's funny how even CM Punk's like when Cody was coming to the ring is calling him on his bullshit. Cody needs to turn heel. The viewer crowd does not like him. Like fucking Gevar on commentary was trying to play it off as like very surprising that Cody's being booed by the New York audience. And fucking CM Punk just comes out like they don't like him. They do not like him. And it was this promo here that hopefully will change things for Cody Rhodes.
The top, but there's some drama going on right now.
All right. Big win for Lee Johnson and Cody together here on Dynamite.
Wow.
Listen to the boos. Nobody likes Cody in New York. This is the second of the 3 weeks in the next month, in a month span that they'll be in New York area. Cody ain't gonna have any love in Long Island either. I'm just telling you that right now. Nobody in New York likes Cody Rhodes. Probably gonna hear that all over the place because everyone is tired of Cody being everywhere. The fucking Road to the Top makes its premiere after this show tonight. You had to sit there and you wanted to hear the announcement of Bobby Fish versus Sammy Guevara next week without being spoiled about it or having to see it on social media. You had to sit there and watch 16 minutes of a reality show that normal wrestling fans don't give a shit about to get that news. Cody is all over the place and people are sick and tired of Cody Rhodes. Continue.
Hey! I know this audience waited a long time for this show. We don't need to wait. Why don't we get him out here right now? Why doesn't Malachi Black come out here right now?
Put Orange face.
Cody, stop talking. Stop talking. July the 7th, Malachi Black came into our life. He has systematically destroyed every one of us. He used me to get to you, but it's your fight. The first time he totally destroyed you, you start taking your boot off. What's that all about? We didn't talk about that. You come back for number 2, I got this. You finally get him hurt. What do? You roll out of the ring to see about me. To hell with me. It's not about me. You should have finished that fight. Here's some differences, though, Cody, that's going to prevent you from going 1 inch any further. Malachi Black is an assassin. He's a predator. He will do anything in the world to win a match and destroy the man that he's in there with. Ask Lee. Ask Brock. And just the fact is, I would step in and take the fight, but I'm just too damn old. But I'll tell you what, there's 2 big differences between you and I, Cody. You pull up to a red light, a man jerks your door open, says, out of the car, I'm taking your car. You say, okay, take it. Just don't hurt me. Wow. You know what I do? I pull out the Glock, put it on his forehead, and spill his brains all over the concrete. I'm Arn Anderson, and all that implies. And I'll be damned if I'm going to coach a loser. Come on with me, Lee. At least you listen to me.
Wow.
Woo! Can I get the number for that semi-truck that just ran all over Cody Rhodes? Because god damn, Arn. Tell him how you really feel. Damn. That was a murder on the microphone if I've ever heard one. Holy shit. I didn't think Arn Anderson had it in anymore in 2021, but my God did he do.
We're back live on TNT.
Arn making Cody Rhodes just, he's done with him. Like, I don't know what they're going to have with Cody, with Arn after that. What's going to happen with Cody? We don't really fucking care what happens with Cody just because I'm on New York City side, the New York State side. I don't give a shit about Cody in a top spot. Honestly, Cody should have been the one taking that pinfall, in my opinion. But it is what it is. But damn, I didn't think Arn Anderson would go that fucking deep. Next up, we had, for whatever reason, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin versus Bear Country and Anthony Green. Why was this match happening? I don't know. I know AEW, I know after Rampage last week on their Twitter bio, Young Bucks put up, we want trios titles. Well, with the fact that they still keep teaming Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, and Darby Allin together, and you have 2.0 with Daniel Garcia, you have the Super Click, you have any 3 members of the Dark Order, maybe 2 versions of the Dark Order. You could have Sammy Gevar in the Pride and Powerful, Chris Jericho and Pride and Powerful. There's so many trios that you could have for AEW. It wouldn't surprise me if they're still just teasing trio match titles to eventually give us trios titles. This match is pretty much academic. Bear Country gets, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston get to jump on Bear Country, send them out Anthony Green, who the fuck is Anthony Green? And Darby Allin have a tussle for a bit. In the end, violent crown by Moxley and Kingston for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Kingston grabs a Brodie Lee sign. Sting heads in and blasts Green with the Scorpion Death Drop. Kingston holds up the Brodie sign. And that was basically it. Rhea Soho saying she never felt like she had so many people in the corner against the champion last week. The Faker says they, just like the song Not Soho, and she was just proving him why she's the most dominant woman, and I'm like, no, you just proved last week that you're a shitty fucking champion, and the sooner they get that championship off you, the better. Soho says she'll work her way back up and come back for that title. We'll have to wait and see. HFO in the ring. Hardy says a year and a half ago he was supposed to debut here in Rochester, but that was deleted because Rochester doesn't deserve a legend like him, and it's an awful town. Out comes Orange Cassidy, who will be facing Jack Evans in a hair versus hair match on Friday. This, of course, was established last week, so we will see what happens with that on Friday night. So we have this 10-man tag match, and already with the Dark Order, they are having problems as it looks like John Silver's going to not John Silver. Fuck, his partner. Alex Reynolds going to start, but Julio tags in. He wants to take over. They have a little bit of argument. 5 tags in, and they're just arguing left and right. 5 gets his mask taken off by Uno. Private Party beat up 5, slam him down. They're just beating these guys up. It looks like they get a little bit on page for a minute, but Uno gets knocked off the apron by Alex Reynolds later in the match. He has had enough. He is getting the fuck out of here. Stu Grayson and Colt Cabana. Shit. Colt Cabana tried to talk him down, but he's trying to leave. Out comes -1, Tay Conti, Anna Jay, and Amanda Huber. -1 with the papers to Evil Uno. Amanda Huber just rings these guys rips these guys new ones, says, not on this night. Not on this night. You're going to get your ass back to the ring. You're going to do this shit for Brody. They hurry back to the ring. All hell breaks loose. Everybody for the HFO gets taken out. John Silver on his rant, on his hot streak that he does, taking everybody out. Move after move after move. And you get the big, huge flurry of strikes on George Jarrell. Fatality hits on John. On Jarrell. 1, 2, 3. Dark Order get the win with Orange Cassidy. After the match, -1, Tay Conti, Anna Jay, and Amanda come in. They shake hands. Everybody comes into a big, huge hug. And for the time being, it looks like the Dark Order are back on the same page. Anybody who thought Wyndham Rotunda was going to be here, you need to shut the fuck up and quit complaining. You know there are going to be these dumbasses out there like, but Bray Wyatt was supposed to be here. This should have been Bray Wyatt's moment. Dumbasses. Bray Wyatt is still under a 90-day no-compete clause. He's not going to show up tonight at all. There was no way, if fans were butts about it, he could have showed up in any capacity. It's called a no-compete clause. That doesn't mean he can't just go to a wrestling show and not wrestle. He could show up. When it comes to, I think indie shows are fine, but like can't go to Ring of Honor, can't go to AEW, can't go to Impact, can't go to New Japan, can't go to MLW. Anything with a TV station or on TV of any type, Wyndham can't go to right now. So he couldn't even show up to cut a promo, a video package. If they wanted to do a video package hinting him without saying his name and without showing him, but showing hints, that would have been one thing. They could have did that, but they didn't. So Wyndham was not there tonight. He wasn't going to be there. All those idiots out there was like, he's going to be here. He's going to be the new leader of the Dark Order. He's going to bring them back together. This was done way better. This is the way it should have been done. Amanda comes out there, the wife of the late, great Brodie Lee, who was the leader of the Dark Order, comes out there and snaps these guys out of it for the time being. So there you go. The Dark Order, for now, is on the same page. What happens after that? Who's to say? Who's to know? We'll have to wait and find out. After that, we get a little video from the man of the hour, Lio Rush, who's coming back to AEW, signs with AEW. It's official. He is All Elite, bringing his big business to AEW. Can't wait to see what this guy does. But I wish the guy would make up his mind. It's like this. Like earlier this year, he had he was in the Casino Battle Royal. I believe he was the Joker in the Casino Battle Royal. Got injured in that match and was like, I'm calling it a career. I can't do this anymore. I continue to get injured. I'm done. Apparently, Tony Khan's been on him, trying to get him into AEW. Talks about being a businessman, investing and helping pay off his debts from someone for himself and those around him. He looks like he's at AEW, which he is officially All Elite. Great for him. Get a small promo from FTR, which I don't understand why they even did it. It was like 2 minutes of them just talking how good they are and everything. We had more shit from Dan Lambert and the Man of the Year. I really do not care. Buddy and Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay and Tay Conti. Thing coming out of this is Anna Jay and Tay Conti have a TJ promo video entrance and music, which it sounds like it's a sped up version of the Dark Order theme or a remix version of the Dark Order theme, but TJ has their own music and stuff. Good for them. Short, sweet match here. TJ ends up picking up the win. TKO to the Bunny on the outside. Dangerous J kick to Penelope Ford into the Queenslayer, and she passes out. They win. -1, he was there all night. Of course, -1 being the son of Brodie Lee. You knew he was going to be here. You knew his mom was going to be here. And eventually, probably one day, when his brother is older, we'll see -1 and -2, or whatever they want to give him his name for, will be a part of AEW too. So on Rampage, it's going to be Jade Cargill, Thunder Rosa, and Nyla Rose. They had a video package of these three in a triple threat match. They played it off as like, it's a big deal that this match is going to be a no disqualification match. And I'm like, all non-elimination triple threat matches are no disqualification. You don't have to highlight that. Didn't make any sense why they did that. And now we have the promo of the night. And of course, that promo of the night goes to Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF.
Listen, guys, I want this company to be successful, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. That is as long as I am given what I deserve, but we'll get to that. You see, we are on the precipice of something truly spectacular. This company keeps building more and more momentum, and whether I care to admit it or not, there are a handful of young men who have been here since the beginning that will keep pushing this company forward for the next couple of decades. 4 men to be exact, 4 pillars. You got Jungle Boy. Beat him. You got Sammy Guevara. Beat him. You got Darby Allin, whatever, and then you have the strongest pillar.
Keep that slate with Darby Allin in your mind for a minute.
Most important pillar, the pillar who had the first match at All In, the pillar who was a participant in the first match in the history of this company, the pillar who is the youngest athlete ever to main event an AEW pay-per-view, the pillar who is a 2-time
beautiful Dynamite Diamond Ring champion, the Pillar, who's better than you, and you know it. And that Pillar's name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I bring this all up because without me, quite frankly, this company ain't shit. I am the past, present, and future of AEW, and that is why I deserve to be the AEW World Champion.
Well,
Pipe down!
earn it in the ring then, dude.
Now, Tony Khan, we're real good friends. I love you, buddy. Matter of fact, out of all the cons in professional wrestling, you're easily in my top 2. However, if you don't start giving me the opportunities I deserve, well, I have other friends from back in the day. Whatever. I have a friend back in the day from my MLW days, and his name is not CM Punk, no, it's Bruce Pritchard.
What the hell are we doing?
And I got Brucey on speed dial.
Okay, so Darby Allin's coming out. We'll get to that in a second. But in CM Punk says during Darby's entrance, everyone's got the Bruce Pritchard on speed dial. That's nothing. That's nothing to be proud of. And Tony Khan is like, "What are we doing here? Bruce Pritchard on speed dial. Why would you even be proud of that, MJF? I don't know." But this gets pretty good right here.
Well, if it isn't Freaky Deaky Darby. Listen up, buddy. As much as I love the whole school shooter mime on a skateboard routine, not a huge fan of you interrupting me, bud, but I think I know why you interrupted me. I think you've interrupted me because you're jealous of me. But let me explain something to you, Darbinator, or Darbinator. Listen. There is nothing wrong with being the second best guy, you know? There's nothing wrong with being the second best pillar. Listen, some of the best number 2 guys are incredible. Mark Messier, Lou Gehrig, Scottie Pippen. You know a great number 2 guy, you know, Sting. Now me, I'm Wayne Gretzky, I'm Babe Ruth, I'm Michael Jordan. I'm number 1 around here.
Are you done talking, Max? Are you done talking? You keep saying you're gonna leave if you don't get what you want. Go, Max. Go! I wouldn't care. I don't think anybody here will care either. Me, Max. Me, on the other hand, I am AEW for life until death. And how can you be the number 1 pillar when I've been the only one to win a championship between us?
Oh, okay. Sick burn, Darby. Listen, as much as I love that Batman voice, trust me, I really do. But you know what? Actually, no. Let me take a step back. I respect you, Darby, because you're straight edge. He is. But do you people know why Darby Allin is straight edge? Well, that's because when Darby Allin was but a wee little boy, he decided to hop in the car with his drunken, sloppy, alcoholic uncle.
Oh.
And they went for a little joyride, and Darby,
No.
you guys got into a little accident, didn't you? And your uncle died that night, didn't he? And that's a real travesty, Darby. Do you know why it's a travesty? Because that night, the wrong man died.
God.
What are you gonna do, Darby? You gonna hit me, huh? How about you hit me? How about you hit me right now? Do it!
No, Max. I'm not gonna hit you, because you will not break me mentally. So if you got anything else to add, Now's the time. Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep talking!
I'm not gonna break you mentally. I'm not gonna break you mentally. Okay. We're done. We're done here.
And MJF just up and leaves. And honestly, I'm not surprised. I mean, Darby Allin saying you're not going to break him mentally. Darby Allin has been open and honest about his death of his uncle, why he paints his face halfway, because and on that night he feels like half of him died in that accident. So, if a normal person, it would be something that would just, they would have clocked MJF. But this is Darby Allin. Things that he's put his body through, his mind through, and everything else through. It's going to take more for MJF to break him mentally than bringing up past deficiencies just bringing that up. He's going to have to do more. I don't think he's going to ever be able to break Darby Allin mentally because of everything he's been through and everything that he's had done to him. So, yeah, that match. The build to that match is going to be great, though. Darby Allin, MJF. MJF mentioned all the other three pillars. All four pillars. Him, Sammy, Darby, and Jungle Boy. He beat Jungle Boy years ago. He beat Sammy earlier this year, but he hasn't faced or beat Darby Allin. This is step one, and that match, hopefully, will happen at Full Gear. Obviously, MJF will not be going against Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship. He shouldn't be going for the AEW Championship until Kenny Omega drops that title to Hangman Adam Page or whoever they have him drop it to, which it should be Hangman Adam Page. But if it's not, whoever they have it be, I can totally see MJF this time next year being your reigning defending AEW Heavyweight Champion, with somebody winning it in between. So, the mind games, MJF's going to have to step his mind games up if he wants to get into the mind of Darby Allin. That's something that is going to take a while. Now, on Rampage this week, you got Evans and Cassidy, Hair vs. Hair, Cargill, Rosa, and Rose, triple threat match, and then you have Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson. Bryan Danielson's first match on Rampage. That match should be over already or in the middle of finishing up. Should be a hell of a match. Can't wait to see what Bryan Danielson and do. It's gonna be fun to see what Bryan Danielson does with Matt Jackson. Those two are gonna be able to tear the house down, and Rampage is gonna be something which AEW has done everything they can to make you because of course anytime you could have AEW just go out there and have a bunch of jobber matches, like they have a Dark Elevation, and just have a mid-level show for an hour. But that's not what they're doing. One of the biggest criticisms, and JR said this too, is that WCW's Thunder was just a joke. Nobody wanted to be on that show. Nobody wanted to be a part of it. It was just thrown together, and nobody cared about it. Tony Khan and AEW don't want Rampage to ever feel like that. We've had a title change hands in the first episode of that show, the first match. Night 2 was the night CM Punk returned. You've had the women's title on the line there. The TNT title defended not once, but twice. And now you're going to have what could be a hell of a match between Nick Jackson and Bryan Danielson. And I would not be surprised if that's opening the show on Rampage. Next week, the Elite will take on Bryan Danielson, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. I guess they didn't. I could have swore I saw in the graphic it was going to be those guys and Kaz, but I guess Kaz is not a part of it, which makes no sense. Why did you have Kaz come out to help fend off the Elite if he's not even going to be a part of the match? Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb, they did play a promo for this because Serena Deeb is trying to prevent Hikaru Shida from being the second person in AEW history and the first woman to win 50 matches. Of course, Jungle Boy is at 50 plus. He was the first person to get to 50. Shida will probably most likely become the first woman to do that this coming Wednesday next week, which is the second anniversary show in AEW. And then we have Miro versus Sammy Gevar. I've said this, you heard the reaction from the new champion. Sammy Gevar is your new TNT champion, but he had to fight for it. Miro was not going to go down easy, and Sammy Gevar just would not stay down. No matter what Miro did, Sammy would not stay down. So, towards the end of the match, Miro knocks Sammy to the outside. He's down. Miro is getting frustrated. He was actually going for the game over. Sammy rolled to the outside after the Machka kick. I don't know what they call it here. Sammy rolls to the outside. Miro is so pissed off. He goes to rip the turnbuckle pads off the top rope. Having trouble in the first one. He finally rips 3 of them off. Fuego comes out to stop him from getting the 4th one done. He gets knocked on his ass. But Miro does pull it off. Then that gives Sammy enough time to come at him, hit him into the turnbuckle, hit the Go to Hell, the GTH, and then hit a 630 after flipping him the double bird. 1, 2, 3. Sammy Guevara is your new TNT champion. I'm happy for it. It's great. Now we go back to that MJF promo and Darby Allin coming out. 2 of the 4 pillars that MJF mentioned have been TNT champion. Jungle Boy will probably be in that conversation as well too, being TNT champion. Honestly, if you look at everybody who's come into AEW in the last month, I think the perfect person eventually to take the title off of Sammy Guevara is Adam Cole. Adam Cole should by Revolution. I wouldn't say anytime soon. Give Sammy a few months as the TNT champion. But at Revolution, TNT champion, Adam Cole. That sounds pretty good to me. I think Adam Cole could be the next guy in line. Rack up those wins, get some wins here and there, get some singles wins, beat guys like Jungle Boy, beat other guys, beat Kaz again, beat whoever he needs to. But when it comes down to it, at Revolution, it would be a hell of a thing to see Adam Cole versus Sammy Guevara one-on-one for the TNT title, and he could win the TNT championship and be that next guy. Because honestly, out of everybody who's coming from Ruby Soho to Bryan Danielson and CM Punk, out of those 4 people, Adam Cole, to me, feels like he's going to be the first one of those 4 to taste any type of gold. And it could very well be the TNT championship. And honestly, with Sammy winning the TNT title, it opens a whole slew of opportunities for him to go up against all these heels. He can go up against half of the elite. He can go up against Andrade. So many. Miro could get another shot eventually. There are so many options for Sammy Guevara to defend that title. And again, when it comes down to it, I think the guy to take it off of him would be Adam Cole in Revolution. How do we get there? That's the fun part. That's just my opinion. But next week, it's going to be Bobby Fish versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. MLW invades AEW next week. Of course, Bobby's not going to win. It's going to be interesting to see if Bobby Fish and Adam Cole have any interaction on TV or on BTE next week, because Undisputed Era and Bobby Fish was out with injury during the breakup of the Undisputed Era. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next week. But AEW is just firing all cylinders. I wish I had this can't wait to see what happens next week. Can't wait till next week's show. Why do we have to wait a week for next week's show? I'm gonna be honest, I have never felt like this for either Raw or SmackDown. This is there were actually a couple times back when TNA was at its apex, which is not anywhere close to as high as it could have been because of how bad they were run. But when they were 2008 to 2010, before Hogan came in, there were times where it's man, what is Impact going to do? The TNA going to do next week? Because I want to see what they're going to do. I get that feeling, and times 100 here. We're going to have Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson on Friday night. It's already probably done and in the book and ready to go for Friday. But yeah, I can't wait. Everything's going to be great next week. Rampage this week is going to be can't miss because of Bryan Danielson and Sammy and Nick Jackson. That's going to be a match worth watching, and hopefully they get a lot of time. Now, you can give those guys, it could be the first 20 minutes, or 15, 20 minutes of the show on Rampage could be Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson. I think those two are going to tear the house down, and it's going to be worth the wait. Leo Rush coming in AEW. When does he have his first match? Bobby Fish coming to AEW for a one-off, or who knows what's going to happen there. He's having matches in MLW. I don't know if he's actually signed to MLW, but hell, there's another man ready to come and work his ass off. And it won't be long before Kyle O'Reilly is joining his Red Dragon partner in AEW over MLW. But that is your AEW on TNT review. Another good show. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club. Find me on Twitch.tv/The France Club. And find me on Instagram at The France Club. And I will see you guys on Friday for SmackDown and Rampage. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.